Thank you. I heard a yes, so that's good. I produced this show because I was noticing that a lot of shows out there were missing something. They were missing me, is what. And I'm wonderful. So I wanted to make sure that I had more me time. Also, I've been doing other random shows, Asian shows. In North America, when people say Asian, they think just East Asian for some reason. And Asia's a big place, you guys. There's a lot of us, so I made sure that our lineup represented that. So I'm really excited to have that. I don't know, when Crazy Rich Asians came out, I was really pissed off that they deleted all of the Indian characters from the movie. You guys read the books? There are lots of Indians in there. They're not just servants. So just wanted to make sure that this show represented as much of Asia as I could. This is our third one, you guys. This is our third show, and we've sold out every single one, which means there's obviously a market for this, right? So, yeah, give it up for yourselves for coming here. We have only one bartender in the back, so things might be a little slow. Please be kind to him. But also try to buy stuff here because I have a bar minimum to make. Anyway, today's show and sign is sponsored by Caruso Clothing, which is a Japanese clothing line. That got a bigger applause break than I did? Okay. The sign is pretty lit, though. My husband designed it. My husband just got an applause break. Guys, he's not even Asian. Okay, oh, you don't have to do that, it's fine. He's Asian adjacent. Anyway, so I'm gonna tell some actual jokes now. Yeah, cool. So my name is Rush. It's not short for Rushmi or Rushpinder, though a lot of people ask. My parents are from Bangladesh, and they moved to the Netherlands, they got kicked out. They moved to Germany, they got kicked out. They moved to Canada, they're like, we're not getting kicked out, right? So my dad fucked my mom, because back then you didn't kick out pregnant ladies from countries. And they're like, what do Canadians like? You know? What do Canadians like? We'll name our firstborn son what Canadians like. They like this band Rush, okay. Turned out to be a girl, and they're like, we stick to the plan, it's a good plan. You know, just like, so from when I was a kid, I was always called the little man of the house, right? When I was in high school, I used to identify as a trans man, mostly because I didn't know non-binary was an option. This is the early 2000s, Google didn't exist, there was no cable internet, it was just dial-up. It took me 3 days to download a fake nude of Britney Spears, you know, just like... Which is a good thing when you think about it, because I was 15, but she was 17. That would have been child porn if it was real. So yeah, I used to tie my boobs down, wear a fake beard, fuck a lot of bitches. Sometimes nice ladies, but mostly bitches, because you get what you give, you know? It's The Secret. It's a book I read once. You don't have to read it. But yeah, so during this time, whenever I brought girls home, my parents were like, we moved to Canada, this is what Canadians do. They're all lesbians with beards. You know, just very assimilated. So in high school, I tripped and fell and landed on a penis, and there was like a geyser that shot out of me. I was like, oh, fuck no. I'm into dudes too. And the types of guys I'm into do not like this beard look, you know? So I stopped wearing the beard 100% of the time. But yeah, so whenever I brought a dude home, my dad was really excited. He'd come to the door, he'd knock, he'd be like, Rush, what are you doing? I'd be like, Dad, I'm busy, because I wanted to sound like Chad Kroeger in high school. That was my thing. Anyway, my dad would shuffle off, he'd shuffle back, he'd knock on the door again, and he'd be like, do you want $20? Right? Because every time I fucked a guy, my dad would slip a $20 bill under the door to reaffirm that heteronormative activity was encouraged in the house. So if any of you young gentlemen want to make $10, I still live with my daddy. Yeah, it's kind of weird. But yeah, so dating in the early 2000s as a queer person was really hard because, like I said, dial-up internet. We didn't have Tinder, Grindr, Finder, none of those things. We had chat rooms. You guys remember chat rooms? Yeah? ASL, you know? 17 in Rexdale looking for a vagina, you know, just hunting. So I met this girl online, and we didn't have digital cameras, so we had to call each other and describe ourselves to one another. Yeah, this is old school. And this girl sounded like Ashanti. She sounded gorgeous. I'm like, oh my God, Ashanti. So I'm talking to her, I'm like, what do you look like? What's your ethnic background, if you don't mind me asking? And she's like, oh, I'm half Jamaican, half Indian. I'm like, oh my God, super hot. Love it, love it. I'm like, what's your body like? And she's like, I'm tall, fit, I have abs, I'm very athletic. I'm like, dope, 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 dope. All the things I know, I love it. I'm like, do you look like a celebrity? Just so I can picture it, since we don't have pictures. And she's like, yeah, actually, my friends say I look a lot like Ja Rule. And I'm like, that's a fucking celebrity from that music video that I was looking for. Let's do this, right? Let's meet up. But the thing is, I lived in Rexdale, she lived in Scarborough. Neither of us have cars or drive. That's a 3-hour TTC ride situation, right? So I'm like, let's meet in the middle. Let's go to Yorkdale Mall. And I'm paying, babe. I'm very masked. I look like a dude. So I'm paying for everything. Let's go to the fanciest restaurant I can think of. Let's go to Rainforest Cafe. I was 17 and stupid, okay? So we go on this date. We're in front of the animatronic gorillas. A fake storm is running through, you know. She orders the cedarwood plank salmon for dinner. And for dessert, she gets this thing called the volcano, which is 15 brownies on top of one another. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, with ice cream, whipped cream, sparklers on top. Fucking sparklers. The entire staff comes out screaming, volcano, volcano, volcano. You know, because we're not already weird enough being like an ethnic queer couple where I'm wearing a fake beard that I glued on. Like, it's just... Anyway, she did look like Ja Rule. She was not lying. But I'm like, I just paid $70. This is the early 2000s. That's $3 million of now money if you know inflation. And I was a Chad back then. I used to listen to a lot of Papa Roach in Lincoln Park. I was a horrible person. I had a wallet with a chain on it. Disgusting, right? So I'm like, yeah, okay, we're gonna fuck. It's gonna happen. Let's go back to Scarborough, I guess. Anyway, long story short, what I'm trying to say is dating in the early 2000s is a lot like going to Firefest. You know? Did I just get a bunch of O's? Like, listen, this is why. It's because you're traveling very far, you're spending a lot of money, and Ja Rule is kind of there, you know? Just... All right, I'm gonna give you guys a life hack before I bring up our first act. You guys like life hacks? Yeah. Did you know you could say no to a breakup? Got a bunch of whats? People are very shocked. You should try this out the next time you get dumped, or almost dumped, because you won't, okay? So this guy I was dating tried to break up with me because I was cheating on him. And I said, no thank you. And he's like, that's not how breakups work. I'm like, it's 2016, takes 2 of us to consent, get woke, bitch. And he's like, this is offensive. I'm like, I'll give you $5 right now to fuck me. He's like, you don't have $5. So I went to my wallet, produced a really sexy toonie. I didn't have $5. And slid it over the table all sexy-like, which is this move, right? You'd want that, right? And it was charming enough that he didn't break up with me that moment. So every time he wanted to dump me, because it was a lot, I'd smack a toonie down, we'd go to town. Sometimes if I just wanted to get laid, I'd just put a toonie down. That was the thing. Then one day he thought it'd be really cute to flip it on me. He's like, I made lobster, let's do this. And he threw a toonie onto the coffee table, and I was so fucking offended. Like, how dare you offer me money for sex? You know? No one pays me for sex unless it's my dad, okay? Just... Guys, I don't know if you remember the first joke. Where I told you that my dad gives me $20 every time I fuck a dude? Yeah, it's a callback. That's what that is. Thank you. And also my dad paid 10 times as much. Like, what the fuck? A toonie? All right, how are you guys doing? Are we good? Are we ready to get this show fucking started? All right. Our first act has been living in Canada for only 3 years. He moved here from India. He went to McGill. For some reason, he wanted me to tell you that. Guys, give it up for him. Guys, give it up for Rajat Pateja!